Hey, how you doing? Hey. Okay, I've had such a great morning. I was on TikTok live and I spoke to some people and I just, I love the internet sometimes. I really do. It's a great place. It's like you can talk to so many people from around the world. It's insane. One time I was on TikTok live and somebody was from Alaska, somebody's from Atlanta. It was just like all over the place, and it's insane that TikTok can bring people together like that. I miss Vine so much. Like, Vine is something that I think about often, and I fear I'd be so happy if I had Vine, but if I didn't have TikTok, oof, like, it really filled the gap in my heart. And they have lives, which I don't think Vine had lives, so I feel like it's more in the moment. You can connect with people easier, but whatever. We're sipping on a Coca-Cola at 9:38 in the morning. Literally a late start for me. I should have been drinking this at like 7 a.m. when I woke up, but hello, how are you? Welcome back to Two Peas in a Pod. I was just fucking word vomiting for a minute straight. I'm sorry. For all my princesses or princes, all my potheads and people who want to listen to a podcast today, I have some shit to say. Starting with Wicked. We're going to be starting with Wicked. I cannot, it would be so untrue to me to not talk about Wicked because I watched it the day it came out. Actually, the day before it came out. I saw it on Thursday of last week. It's December 1st right now. But I saw it on Thursday of last week. Since then, I have then watched it 3 more times. So I've seen it a total of 4 times. This movie, not only are we witnessing herstory, we're witnessing a story being the story, like the propaganda of Wizard of Oz. Basically, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Wicked, I'm sorry. Please go watch it and then come back and watch this video because I probably will be talking about spoilers until the end of the video. But yes, the Wizard of Oz is just propaganda. It's basically the story told from Dorothy's perspective, where she has no idea of the land of Oz, no idea of why her house was hurricaned into this wonderful magical land, and she's just kind of manipulated by every character. She doesn't really know what's going on, so she has to take everything that she's told for like face value. So then they tell her to go meet the wizard, blah blah. We all know the story of Wizard of Oz. But Wicked, changing the Wicked Witches, I was so scared of the Wizard of Oz when I was growing up. The monkeys, and now that we have like all of this knowledge and technology now, knowing that the monkeys were harmed during filming because they were hung from piano wires, because this was in 1930 something. Like, they don't really have stunt doubles or anything like that, CGI. These fucking monkeys, they had like this makeup on them. They were so scary. The Wicked Witch terrified me, okay? The monkeys, the Wicked Witch, she was so scary, like genuinely fearful of her at a young age. Oh, I was moving my car, so you guys started to slip. I'm not gonna move my car again. But watching Wicked, seeing all of the stories of the Wicked Witch and how she grew up, and you know what? Like Galinda fucking says, okay, I said I wasn't gonna move my car anymore, but I did. Like Galinda says, are people wicked? Are they born wicked? Or do they have wickedness thrust upon them? The amount of wickedness thrust upon Elphaba, holy shit. A bitch would be fucking done too. A bitch would be like, catch me out in the western sky as well. Because she goes to... her whole life, she's been hated by her father. Her whole fucking life. She's been hated by her father because of her infidelity of her mother. Like, her mother had an affair with the wizard. Spoiler alert. With the fucking wizard. Oh no, I feel bad. I really shouldn't be spoiling everything. But you know what? I need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Her mom has infidelity with the wizard. She's green from birth because her mom drank the green elixir, blah, blah, blah. Her dad hates her. Then they have Nessa Rose, which she's a little disabled, so, obviously they love her more. That in itself is enough to turn someone sour. Like, witnessing the display of love to your sibling that's not shown to you, it could make you sour. I totally get that, but it didn't make Elphaba sour at all. She just wants to protect Nessa Rose. Although she knows her parents have resentment towards her, she just wants to protect her sister. So when her sister goes to Shiz, and then her dad is very adamant on her protecting her sister and making sure her sister settles in okay, she doesn't think much of it. But then she realizes, like, I'm a person too, and like, imagine the wizard hearing my request for me not to be green. Maybe my parents would love me more. Maybe society would love me more, because obviously that she's the only green bitch in the world. So everyone hates her. Everyone's just like very, very much like, what the fuck? Like, you're green, you're green, you're green. That's the whole like first half of the movie. Like, just the differences and perspectives on Elphaba. Even though Elphaba is the most good-hearted, she is very protective of her sister. She doesn't really care about wizardry at all. Although she has such powerful magic within her, she didn't really want that to be her journey. Although Madame Morrible, she kind of ignites a fire in Elphaba, and I think everything Madame Morrible does, even though she might seem like the villain, I think she's just trying to help Elphaba reach her fullest potential. And she knows that she's gonna have to be perceived as a villain in order for her to have all that power and for it to stay in hers. Because imagine she goes to Oz, she's not the Wicked Witch, or she's just another person that the wizard can control, another person that the wizard can take and make silent. And you know what I mean? So Madame Morrible kind of exposes this whole grand facade of the Wizard of Oz and Oz itself to Elphaba to kind of fuel that fire in her, because she knows she has the power to change things. She has the power to make good actually good, instead of good versus like evil in the eyes that it is in Wicked, where they're trying to make Elphaba seem to be evil and wicked. But that's really just the role society has given her, that she has to play so well so that she can have all of her power and she can gain power to help her sister, help her fucking loved ones. Although things do go wrong. I don't know what Wicked Part 2 entails because I've never seen it Broadway, but that movie was just insane. It had me thinking so much. No One Mourns the Wicked. That song, I listen to it all the time. All the fucking time. Like, since I've watched the movie, No One Mourns the Wicked is like the second song that goes in my car for the last like week. But it had me so sad because Galinda the Good Witch is actually a bitch. Like, she's actually a bitch. She's not much of a good witch. She's just kind of very self-centered, very naive, and very impressionable, I think. And that's why she just wants to be perceived as good by everyone. Like, she wants everyone, she knows the weight of people's perceptions and how people perceive you. So she wants everyone to perceive her as good. She wants everyone to love her, and everyone does love her. Except Fiyero, but we're not even gonna talk about Fiyero. Like, Fiyero, I don't even want to talk about Fiyero at all. Because that pisses me off. The whole scenario pisses me off, but I think I'm gonna move on from Wicked. I'm so sorry if you haven't seen Wicked and you watched this. I didn't spoil that much. You can still watch it. It's just, you'll see the musical, the songs and the singing in that movie are so good. But it's really the underlying message of a lot of the things that happen in the movie for me. Is the whole silencing the animals, making the animals not talk, making the animals not have power. Very intense. But it was such a good movie. I'm gonna watch it for a 5th time today, I think. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Wicked, really. But what else do I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about something. Oh, car dealerships. This might seem very weird, but aren't car dealerships so freaky? There's something very eerie about them. Why is there so many cars just sitting on a lot like that? I don't know. I was driving past like a couple car dealerships at night recently, and I was just looking at them, and it's crazy how you can just go to a lot and pick out a car. Like, you can just go. There's so many different cars that are in each dealership too. It's just so weird. And then I'm looking at all of them, and they're all parked in a way where you couldn't move. Like, I was thinking, if somebody wanted to steal all of these cars, like, what's stopping them? Oh, all of the fucking 500 other cars that are in front of that one car, because car dealerships, essentially, you can't even drive the car that you're looking at if you're going to the lot. It's like they would have to move every car in order to get that car to be able to drive, which is crazy to me. Like, we just be having like cars on display for no reason, because I don't know, it's just so odd to me. Okay, chill. I don't know why my iPad case is not being very slay today. It's very, very movie. Oh shit, I just saw a fly and I thought it was in my car. Woof, that scared me. But yeah, Wicked was crazy. I'm still thinking about it right now, even though I just spent 10 minutes talking about it. I'm still thinking about it. What else did I want to talk about? There was something else. I forgot what it was. I always have these thoughts and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna remember that for the podcast. And then I'm sitting here filming and I'm like, oh, what was any thought that I've had ever in my life? I don't know. Maybe if I hit my vape, it'll help. Okay, last thing I'm gonna say about Wicked. The way that they show grief and no one mourns the wicked is so insane to me, because you can tell Galinda's hurting and everyone's just rejoicing on the fact that the witch is dead. And I feel like that kind of makes her sad, because it just shows that they don't, even though she tried to explain her childhood, she tried to explain how wickedness was thrust upon her through telling them the story of how her mom had infidelity, all this stuff. The Munchkins were still like, she's dead! Like, they were just like, yay! And so she was just like, oh, okay, yes, good news, like, good news. But she really didn't feel like it was good news. But even though she explained all of the witch's story, she just didn't give a fuck. Grief is so crazy. Around the holidays, I'm going through it as far as grief. Like, losing someone important to you is honestly one of the most life-changing turn of events that could ever happen. And the holidays honestly just heighten that so much. Like, it heightens those emotions for me. And I feel bad because whenever I'm experiencing something that my loved one would have been experiencing, oh, there's something in my eye. It's been in my eye for a minute too. But whenever I experience something that my loved one should be experiencing, but they're not, I feel very guilty, like survivor's guilt. Like, why am I here and they're not? Because honestly, the holidays are just fucked. They're just, the whole concept of it being like a happy, joyous time, I think the expectation of that, it lets me down every fucking year, because I'm not ready to be happy or joyous. But yeah, grief is just a lot. And I didn't expect for this to be such a dark fucking episode, but you know, Wicked has me pondering. I've been like feeling things more intensely since that movie. I'm not kidding. Like, it sounds like a joke. It sounds like, haha, get it the fuck together. But that movie has intensified my emotions. Like, I'm very sensitive because there's so many political things that happen in that movie. I hate to keep going back to it, but I think this is just, it's just gonna have to be about Wicked. I'm sorry. It's just what's on my mind. But the underlying messages of it, it's like keeping people silenced. I think the goat says something, which is so goated of him. But he says something, he's like, you'll find that you can keep almost anyone silenced as long as you make them believe that their voice isn't worth listening to, or something. Like, you can keep anyone silenced as long as you make them believe no one's listening. Like, something along those lines, where it was just very political. It's like, holy shit, like, you can keep people silenced as long as you make them think that you're in control. But if they know that they have the power, it's hard to keep them controlled. AKA why Elphaba. Okay, like, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm sorry. But that hit hard. Also, the wizard says something where he was like, yeah, you know, it's good to give people a common enemy for them to hate. It brings people together. Like, nothing brings people together like a common enemy. And that is so fucking true in every way outside of the land of Oz. Even in the real world, this movie is just the classic tell time of people that are different and people that are, you know, society's acceptable standards. And with that being said, I'm gonna end this fucking video, because if I keep going, it will be 25 minutes of me talking about Wicked. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I did not have any of the devil's lettuce today because I'm gonna indulge in that off camera when I'm watching Emergency Intercom. But I hope you have a great day. I hope you watch Wicked, and I hope to see you again soon. Sorry I didn't upload last week. At least I only did 2 weeks. I thought it would have been longer. I thought I didn't upload for like a month, but all right, I'll see y'all guys in the next one. Bye.